Good morning, guys. How's everyone doing today? Just trying to make sure all of my screens look correctly this morning. Sometimes you'll have stuff going on and you don't realize it unless you take a look at it. There's been plenty of times I'll have like the wrong screen even showing, so you gotta make sure. Uh, don't really know what to expect from the market today. This is OPEC Friday tomorrow. A lot of people's options are closing, so we could have like crazy sell-offs, people closing their positions and options for any of you option folks out there. I know I get a lot of people come through the lobby talking about options, even though I have very, very little experience when it comes to options, but I'm always willing to listen to you talk about them or rant about them, either good or bad. Some people have really, I think there was a couple people in the lobby last night that says they were just getting tanked on some options, but that's just part of the trading world sometimes. Sometimes it's good all around, and sometimes it's pretty crappy. Oh, good morning. I feel like we had a pretty good Asia session last night. Didn't quite get the 100-point move, but man, we came close. We sold off right near the top. I thought we were going to keep going up to the 380s last night, but man, we ended up coming back down to reality here. So if I kind of go to, let's see if I can find last night's trading session. So on the last night trading session, that 86, here we go, looks like right here. So we had like a pretty wild looking candle last night take me, kind of take me out of my runner. Let's see. So when I first got on last night, my bull bear line was that 32, 33 area, then also around that 34. So we're pretty much pushing back up into this. Wait, nope, that has to be the wrong spot. I'm sorry, it's over here. I was on the wrong spot here. All right, so, anyways, so we got long around, I say 40s last night. We had to get 40s to continue higher. I thought I was going to miss the trade because I had just jumped on, so I just spammed the buy button. And next thing I knew, I was sitting through about 20, 30 points of drawdown. 86 was kind of like my bull bear line to the bottom side. And we hit 86 to the tick last night. Luckily for me, we were DCAing into it. So the time I hit my original target, it brought my average back down into the 90s just from, adding to it about 3 times last night. But anyway, it was this crazy candle wick right here that I know there was another guy named Southern or Southpaw that was in the lobby. I know he said he was long from 53. And man, we just had like a 50-point whip. I had my take profit sitting right below my bull bear line as that 34, 40 area. And you can see we just whipped down 50 points. Then pretty much right after that whip to run some stops, we ended up going up over what, 100-point move to the upside last night in the Asia. We ended up re-entering this around the 40s. And I think we took another 50 points out of that before we kind of called it a night. I was still looking for another pullback up here. I guess I could have set through it down a little bit more drawdown. If you kind of look to the left, we pretty much bounced off that previous day low over there. So, yeah, most of the time we always pull back. You know, I was looking for like a one micro trade, so we kind of ended it with like a little $20 loss. So, nothing too bad. And it just looks like we've been just selling off ever since that last night, man. We've just been just a little dump fest here. All right, let me set the pivots. I have not set the pivots up yet. Oh, shoot. Sorry, I lost one of my chats. What's up, Fish Lips? How are you doing today? Did you trade Asia last night, man? We had a pretty banger move in Asia last night. It just, man. Oh, excuse me. I'm kind of wondering what the OPEC's going to bring. Are we just going to have another choppy day waiting for all these options to made a little one went to bed? I forgot, what did we make? We were on a funded, so let me see real quick. We got 169. We were up to about 190 last night. Then I tried like a little super cheap trade around the 309s, 310s for that possible 75 pullback. But we ended up just pushing up to what? 320, 10 more points. Then we ended up having the dump, man. That was literally the top last night where we were sitting at. Oh, excuse me. I didn't sleep very good last night. I think I slept good. It's one of those nights where you wake up and just then you find yourself staring at your phone for a few hours. Ugh. Uh, Dude, we've been on a little bit of rough spats on the 25K lately. I think we went back over needing $1,000. We dropped down below the. We've been hovering around between that 26,800 or so to 2,600. Then right now we're sitting back at 26,462. So I may not trade that account today. So since I'll just start Monday. Yeah, let me put my pivots on here real quick. Yeah, definitely. We're sitting at another pivot here at 410. That's kind of what we're bouncing off at the moment. We've already kind of broke our 4-hour candle. The only thing the next thing could be is if this is a 4-hour low here, we're making basically 4-hour lower lows. So 4-hour candle here, 4-hour candle here, then wherever this 9 o'clock candle closes. So it could be nice sell off today. Let me see where the midnight candle is at. My midnight candle looks like it's back up there at 720. So back up there at 662. There we go. So that could be a possible target for me to the upside this morning, 662. Let me add my pivots in. So 163. Let's see, 163. $560. So pretty much that next pivot to the upside sitting on the previous day low. I mean, I don't think we get way back up there, but hey, you never know. Anything's possible. Just be careful today if you're fairly new to trading. This is called we're the day before OPEC Friday, and a lot of times OPEC Friday can be really harsh price action. So just be aware of that. Let me bring the chat back up, fish lips. Yeah, trading on those both fins kind of catches up with me by Thursday night, user. This is almost like a normal thing. That's what it feels like. Sometimes by the Thursday, whenever I'm streaming on nights and mornings, so it definitely it catches up with me by the end of the week. That's all right. We'll get pumped as soon as the market opens. Whew, come on. Get us a nice little 100-point move today. So your final pivot, the S4 pivots down at the 251. How are you doing today, user? Yeah, time I drink this liquid, I sometimes in the mornings I drink like liquid IV, like hydration, and that usually helps out a lot. Nice bounce off the pivot here. So if I had to pick a direction this morning, so if we're looking for the downside move this morning, I'd like to see us push back up to the 450s where we push back up into this consolidation range and the 50%, kind of like do a little fake out above the 15 minutes here, then come roaring back through the 400s and getting down there into like the 350s, the 325s. So this morning, I don't feel like I could get long unless we get back above the 490s, kind of get back above this consolidation. Because you got to think consolidation here. If you look to the left, more consolidation also at the 500. So I feel like it's going to take a little bit to get through those levels this morning, depending on price action. The last couple mornings have been super choppy. It usually takes a minute before we actually get that initial move. It has made this week's trading the opening super tough because we just haven't been getting that crazy breakout. It's always just very moderate. So we do have news this morning. I want to say it's existing home sales. Let me look. I put it on X, but man, I cannot remember it. So what is it? Let's see. Here we go. New home sales, it looks like. New home sales is going to be your 3-star news this morning, which isn't really a major market mover. I would imagine a little bit of bump, but nothing to really like. I don't think you have to be super worried about it. I don't think you'll get one of those like crazy big 100 to 200 point dips. Yeah, I'm kind of liking the shorts this morning too. Back below this, my pivot here. Back below the 400s, we'll consider it a short this morning. I really don't really like the longs unless we can kind of get back above the 500s. And even that, I think you would have to be careful because of the previous day low. If you look at the previous day low here, look at all this consolidation in here, man. Unless we're just going to just be pounding our heads into this. I think we would need that big pullback, then go to the top side. But who knows? The opening is always a mystery. Looking for the short this morning, fam? Does life get easier? I think so. I think you make most people make their own situation. I don't usually ever complain about, my life situations. I don't really have anything to complain about. I'm a very simple person, though. I don't really do a whole lot. I just pretty much just hang out with wife and kids. That's pretty much most of my life besides being on stream. I think you just find what you like to do. Ah, dang it, hit the wrong button. Look at that rejection off the top of that consolidation area. So, I don't know. Have you guys noticed that we've been getting a lot of like pre-market freaking moves lately? The pre-market moves have been insane lately, guys. Well, hopefully I can grab that short with you this morning, Fish Lips. We can get us a nice little 50 point short. I said you complain when gold stops you out. I guess you can call that a complaint or an expression. I don't lose any sleep on whatever happens with trading. So you took the 100 points off that 400, Fish Lips? That's pretty nice. Oh, you got most of it? I didn't even really look at gold last night thinking of gold, guys. What do we got? About 8 minutes left, guys. You said trading your control of my mental health. Nice, smoker. All right. I'm hoping once we pull back into this 15 minutes, we can kind of find a little bit of a consolidation. And then on the move to the downside, we can kind of get that push into like the 250 or 350s to 325s. Ugh. Did you take it on the way back down also, Fish Lips? Holy goodness, man. You're going to be done before you're going to be done before the market even opens. What sucks is we've been getting like these 100 point rips pre-market, then as soon as the market opens, we're like it's just a dud. Like nothing. A lot of just chopping. Oh man. How you doing today, Lewis? I'm pretty sure eventually we'll have like a big pullback. We usually do. I don't know if you guys remember last April. Last April was pretty wild. Well, I wish you luck on that one, Smoker. The market does go up and down, so eventually it'll go down, take profit, then it'll go back up. It goes both ways. You just got to have the drawdown to withstand it. It'll be negative RR for you. It's okay. You can always DCA back into it. All right, kind of getting back down to that pivot range. I'd have much rather this been kind of the setup pre-market where we pushed up into the 500s, kind of on top of all this consolidation, then time to push to the downside. Trying to make sure I keep up with times. All right, guys, we got about 3 minutes or so left. Three minutes. I don't really know. I don't really think about LA, which I don't, I guess, think about any place as far as city goes. I don't really ever focus too much on other city. I mean, I barely focus on the city I live in. I'm just someone who focuses on their self and what's going on within my life bubble. So I'm just more usually focused directly to like my family directly as far as what's going on with my kids' life and with my wife's life and stuff like that. I just tell myself life's too short to worry about a lot of different stuff. Especially I don't have anything control over it. All right, guys, we got less than 2 minutes to go. Less than 2 minutes. So we're bouncing back off that pivot again. That pivot sitting at 410. I don't really have a favorite state. Like I said, I don't really think too much about states. All right, guys, less than 1 minute to go. Good luck today if you are trading the opening. The opening can be very tough sometimes. This is a very tough week of trading. This is rollover week. We had FOMC yesterday, and tomorrow is OPEC Friday. So we have a lot of options closing out this week. So it could, you know, like I said, this is definitely a very hard week to trade. This is definitely one of the weeks that's probably best to even stay away from the market. It's just super, super tough this week. I feel like I've been on the struggle bus with at least the opening trade this week. I feel like the better of the trade has come after the market has settled down. Kind of like yesterday, how I got into the trade a little bit too early, but we ended up selling off anyway because I use a very tight stop loss. And so a lot of times I can't withstand that deep of a pullback. 14 seconds left. Do we get a blast or is it another moderate dud today? All right, here comes the push. So it looks like push down, kind of like what we were anticipating as we pushed up. Unfortunately, this had to happen. The move had to happen pre-market instead of waiting. So there's your 350 that Fishless was looking for. Nice rejection off that 325 here. I'm going to wait and see if we hit the 300s down here and see what kind of area of rejection we get around the 300s. So this kind of did what we were talking about where we're probably going to the downside after we pushed up pre-market to hit all this consolidation at the 450s. I wish this would have been more of the opening trade where we pushed up, found consolidation, then come back through the bottom. But when you go through the bottom at the opening like that, you're just not sure what you're going to get. So that filled that 1 hour gap. I usually don't short the opening candle like that most days, Smoker. I try to wait for that second 5-minute candle. We still got about 1:40 left for the next 5-minute candle. Did you take the short, Smoker? I'm just waiting for the next 5-minute candle and see what happens with the next 5-minute candle. The retest would be you would want it to retest the 15-minute candle back up to 400s. There could be a nice possible bounce off the 300 this morning. You just don't want to short into the 300s. At least I don't short into the 300s. All right. About to have a new 5-minute candle. Couldn't break to the bottom low of this candle. Made a new low. What's up, 44? How are you doing today? Kind of want to wait to see the 300 get hit first here, guys. We're doing good so far. We're still just kind of waiting to see if we can find an entry this morning. So we're struggling to push down here. I didn't know if we would need a fairly deep pullback up into the 15-minute gap at the 400s. I feel like this thing's just trying to trap some folks in here. The 50% is kind of at that 80 mark. What I'd like to see here is for us to push inside that 15 minutes, kind of push back up and retest the pivot, and that kind of be the stopping point for the pullback after that off the 400s. What time is it? 45? All right, here comes that 50 retest here, or pivot retest. Ten seconds left. Hopefully we can get that move back to the downside after this pivot bounce. Fish Lips, you doing pretty good on the hold numbers? What's up, Fast? How are you doing today? We're looking to see if this pivot's going to hold up here at the bottom of our 15-minute candle. Yeah, super resistance up there. I want to see the move back down to 300. We still got about 2 minutes left on this candle. Thank you guys for watching and following today. I much appreciate it. We should be on here till about what, 10:30 or so. I mean, 11. So this is kind of where we don't really. You kind of take the high and the low of this move here, and the play is you're looking for a pullback for the 50-60% back into this 15-minute candle, where the next candle to possibly print will come back down and rerun the lows. Unless we go back out the backside of this 15 minutes sitting at the 60s. For the Bears, you kind of need to hold the 60s here. $30 seconds left. 30 seconds. $15 seconds left. I would prefer to see it move to the downside than I would the upside. Pivot retest. So we're pretty much just kind of stuck back in our 15-minute range. We kind of need to either get back above that blue line or get back below our gold line here. Mm-hmm. May get stopped out here. Recovered our freaking gold line there. Son of a bee. For that to work, we would have to lose this pivot. We can't lose the pivot. It's going back up. Yeah, we're getting stuck at our pivot. I thought we could catch the breakout there, but man, I probably would have been safer. I waited for a print at that pivot. All right, stopped out. Dude, come on. We've been getting hammered on the breakout trades this week, guys. And like I said, that's because we use very tight stop losses. All right, we'll switch to a different funded. I still like to move to the downside. If we can print back below the pivot there. Hmm. I'm sorry. What was that? Let me see. I guess I missed the question there. My chat's covered up. We was looking for a breakout back to the downside, back below the pivot here on this last setup here, because we're trading out of this 15-minute range. So too super tough to long up there into the 500s. That was the bounce on the overflow. Yeah, we don't. I guess I don't really use the overflow. Oh, the overnight low. All right, guys, just kind of sitting on the sidelines at the moment. Nice on your buy. I would think 520 would be your next target. That pivot's also up there at the 564s. Where's the overnight point of control? Is that user? Yeah, we're trading micros user. So we're usually trading 2 or 3 micros on our accounts. The first trade was a loss this morning, so we lost like I think 160, 170 on that first trade. I don't really like the longs here because I don't want to long up into the all this resistance. If you look to the left here, there's just so much resistance up there to the left of us around the 20s to 60s. So I just feel like I'll just get stopped out. So we're just kind of just sitting on the sidelines at the moment. You said the point of control is sitting at 592. Let's see. Good morning. Yeah, I already said good morning fast. Let me make sure I'm watching my TikTok screen so I don't get shut out this morning. Let me get my chat set up here. All right. All right, now I can kind of focus on the chat. I still like the move back to the downside. I just feel like this is going to turn into hopefully a big bull flag where we could still get that move back to the downside. I'm just having a hard time longing into the previous day low. If you look to the left, there is so much consolidation up there to the left of us. So there's just no way I'm going to long into that because I know it won't be good follow through. I still like the moves to the downside. I feel like if it's going to go through there, it's just going to take a little bit. Is there anybody else in a short or long at the moment? Is anybody else in a position? So far, we've only taken the one short from earlier. I tried to like take that breakout as we broke that pivot. Where if you want it to be safe, you almost got to wait for it to print. But if you're just joining us, guys, we're trading MNQ, which is the micros of the NASDAQ. The points are worth $2 a point. So I'm usually trading anywhere between 2 or 3 points at a time, or I mean 2 or 3 micros at a time, which is about $6 a point. Oh, that 560 was the over. Yeah, I saw that from that bounce that we had last night when we were trading the Asia market. That was kind of my line in the sand last night was that 60 off that pivot that we bounced off right there about what 6:30 last night. Kind of looks like a little. So guys, be careful longing up here. If you are try to just, if you are going long, just maybe look into scalps, because remember you're going to run into another pivot and the previous day low sitting there at the 560s. Remember today and tomorrow? Yeah, we did break out of the. Which level was that user? So our next trade is going to be a funded trade. We're just kind of waiting for some kind of another setup off some kind of support and resistance. It's just hard for me to log into the resistance. The 516 to 16s. Okay. If we can get a candle to print above the 64s, we will look for a long off those 60 levels. But we would need to get a candle to print above the 60s. So we're about to have a new minute, 5 minute candle. We got about a minute, 40 seconds. Fish lips, did you take any of those longs from the downside this morning from off the 325? Make sure. Uh-oh. I've tried it a few times on my ninja charts, but I don't really know a whole lot about the profile that you're talking about. So very, very little user. No, we're trading MNQ, BB. So far, we've taken the one loss this morning. You took several longs off those levels. Let's see. Okay, it's just another way to organize the data when you're looking for entries. Is there anybody long right now that's battling the move to the upside? So, like I said before, we're not long biased unless we get back above the previous day low. So that was that low from last night if you were trading the Asia session. We did trade Asia market last night. We did hop in our one trade a little too early on the eval, but we were able to kind of DCA out of the trade, and we ended up having a pretty good trading session after we got above our kind of our bull bear line, which was the what? I think it was the 40 last night. You took the long from the 52. Are you still holding your long, user? Yeah, this week I've been trying to be super careful, user. I've been trying not to overtrade just because of the week that we're in. So I've been just trying to survive my accounts. You know, if I'm taking losses, I want the losses to be no more than $200 max. And this way we can hopefully get to next week after we get through the rollover week, OPEC week, FOMC week. I mean, we had so much going on this week. It is such a prime week to just blow up all your accounts, blow up your fundeds. So it's just best to take small losses, use short, tight stop losses. That's pretty much what I've been doing super strictly all week. So that's why you see me get stopped out a little bit more because we're having like 20-point stop loss, you know, which is very small when it comes to the NQ. I've lost some accounts here and there on OPEC Friday in the past trading Fridays. I mean OPEC Fridays. OPEC Fridays can be kind of tough too if you're trading OPEC Friday. So a lot of options are getting kind of closed on this week. A lot of times, whenever we have OPEC Friday, man, we'll get like some crazy dumps just from people closing their positions. Man, I wouldn't mind seeing us just go back through the 15 minutes to the bottom sides. I kind of want us to get away from the previous day low and get away from all this consolidation here to the left of us. Looks like we're trying to roll over. Wow, building up a really big bull flag here. It's just ugly with the big wicks. So it's not a very clean looking bull flag. You prefer it to be small wicks. Excuse me. Whew. I'm constantly looking to the left because I know eventually the one thing's about to pop up with my TikTok page, where if I'm not paying attention to my TikTok page, they will close my page. Mm. See if I can at least hit the 25 here. Nice 3 candle bull flag kind of breakout. The only thing ugly about it was those wicks. Oh yeah, the losing trades. Yeah, if you can't handle losing trades and trading, it's gonna be very tough for you. So you got to get used to losing. I want to target higher. I'm just not sure if we can get through the previous day low there without a lot of resistance. So we're just going to target the 50 up here, 55. Actually, it may even do the 50, not even the 55. Just 25, 35, 45. Maybe I should have took the 30 points instead of the going for the 35. Such hard rejection up there. All right. Damn it. We were up 30 points. Damn it. A lot of resistance up there, guys. Lots and lots of resistance. So, like I said, I wasn't anticipating any follow through on that trade just because I knew we were going to have a hard time getting through that previous low slash and that pivot sitting at the 560s. Are you heading out, user? What's up, Lib? How are you doing? Mm. Still just getting nasty wicks on these 5-minute candles, man. No good follow through. Like you would have to have your stop loss sitting here for it to play that correctly. So that would be a pretty massive stop loss. All right, guys. So far, 1 for 1. So we got back a little bit of that loss, the one that we took yesterday. Didn't, not quite half, but we're almost back to the threshold, which is the 26,500. So if our 9 and 21 can kind of get crossed over the 50 here, we'll kind of go back to looking for like shorts with pullbacks. So that was kind of like a 75 hit. You want to see it push back up to like the 500 and reject and start pushing back down through the 75. It would need to break this previous 5-minute candle. Fish Lips, how's your morning going so far? User, how did you end up taking profit off that 53 long that you said you were in from earlier? So it's kind of what we're watching on the Rico charts. We're just kind of like, it looks like we're trying to cross back over. We just kind of need to get a complete EMA crossover here to see if we're going to be looking for shorts or not. What's up, Java? Oh, you said that drop almost got you. Nice, 1,000. Heck yeah, Fish Lips. That's pretty good. No, I'm sorry. This is MNQ. If I missed your message already, man, it looks like everything just wants to roll on over here. You kind of need to really to get back out of this. What do you want to call it? Back out of this 15 minutes and sell to the bottom here. Pretty much popped the top of that 15 minutes. That's where that rejection is. Be careful trading into your 15-minute candles. So you can almost anticipate a pullback up to like the 80s to 90s if we break back above that 78. So the Bears are the Bears need to hold this level here around the 90s. Don't really want to push back up above 500 here. If you start pushing back up at 500, that's going to get kind of iffy for the bears if you're short. Nice, that area held. Kind of watching my Rico candles because I was trying to join into this short here. So, I mean, it looks like we're rolling over here. I mean, I just didn't want to take the short into the 15 minutes here. So you just have to be careful doing that. Oh, did we just. Could bounce off the. Yes, Carlos. That's what this entry was off of. We could easily get the pullback all the way back up to the 50s and 60s here, guys. Yep. So runner got stopped out. Mm. What's up, Solo? How are you doing today? No, no. See? I like trading off Ricos, especially whenever it's super choppy. You know, if it's choppy price action, gives you a good idea about which way the market's going. So good trend, kind of trend bias. So here you kind of want to see if we push back up, you want to see your 60, 66 holds. Yeah, super, super simple, man. Not quite the 21 pullback, but man, fairly close here. The follow through has been super tough today, guys. Ooh, this thing just feels like it's just trying to trap some people, man. This thing is just insane, insane rejection. Let's see, just don't know people that don't use them to tell you the truth. You got you said you got cooked yesterday trading candles. Dude, yesterday was a hard trading session all around, man. Ooh. To me, it feels like we want more to the downside. Mm. Dude, I just cannot get the breakout. All right. What is that? We keep trying to catch that breakout with very tight stop losses. So we will definitely short the 410s if we get back below those 410s. We're trying to get into this breakout a little bit early so that if we do lose this pivot here, that we could possibly get that run down all the way back down to the 20s to run these lows. Yeah, hi. We have a Discord. Give me a minute. I'll get the invite for you. Let me find it. I got so many freaking pages open over here, man. Oh, there it is. What size Rico candles do you use, Carlos? I'm using fairly bigger size Rico candles, usually like the 6416s. Dude, we pushed all the way back to that pivot here. Come on. use the 60 ones. What is the same here? I use the 60 16s. Oh yeah, I lost my Apex discount code a while back, Solo. Whenever they canceled everybody's Apex, that's why I don't ever talk about Apex no more. You can always use a Methodical Man's or something. He still got his. So we just lost that 21 EMA. So the next target pushback up is probably going to be right there at the 63s. Man, if we get back, do we get back outside this 15 minutes? We're pretty much back in that freaking 15-minute range from the opening. So I was hoping that I would get the breakout below that pivot, man. That's what we were really hoping for when we were pushing. Woo, just broke that level hard, man. We got so much, man. Look at that 15-minute break. Whew. It's hard to jump in that, guys. Let's see if we get some kind of pullback to the 75 off of the 500 here. You want to see it pull back into like the 80s or even the 75s. Or you can wait for, or I can wait for the first 10 to get hit, then see if we get the pushback down to the 90. So what did that push up to? 505, push back to the 90s. That's pretty normal. Kind of what we're talking about. You push above 500 or any hold number. A lot of times we'll have a pushback to the 75s. So 83s is kind of like your 9 EMA here. At most, you get a pullback to the 70s here. We got a minute and a half left on this candle. This is kind of where the area you want to see it to start push back up here. You want to see it start pushing back up after touching those 75s. Not quite the 75s, but it did dip there it did dip into the 70s. About to have a new candle. I was hoping to grab that quick 10 points on that next new candle. We can kind of get an idea. Because we could easily kind of pull back to the 72s here. All right, we need to see this stay very, very bullish, man. If this can stay bullish, I don't see how we don't make it up to the 60s here. Hopefully, we don't have to have a pullback to that's the 25. So you may get the pullback to the 500 here. I just don't want it to come back to the 90. I don't know if it's, man, I feel like the safer play is to take freaking credit or take your at the 50. I think I'm going to. If I can get the 50 here, I'm just going to settle for that because I mean, shoot, that'd be like a 50-point move. Oh, we rejected that same area as we did from earlier, man. Oh my goodness. We took the same trade up here earlier, pretty much got stopped out for very little. All right. I'm going to not take profit. I'm just going to go back down to break even because I really want us to just have a pullback here and just see if we can get another push here because we could pull back to the 500s, 503s. Very trappy up here, man. I should have just took my 25 fish slips or even my 40. Man, I thought that second push up there would get us up there to the 50s. I missed it twice. This is the second time I've aimed for those 50s and have missed it. Like I said, this could come all the way back down to 503. Don't really want to break the 15. Oh, man, I got here comes that 503 level. We lose 503, it's going all the way back down to the 80s. Where's the imbalance at, Carlos? Yep. Ah, shoot. Gave up 40 points on that freaking trade on the runner, man. Come on. The 83s. This thing just traps some people hard, man. Look at that nice 40-point run up and the freaking, what, 40, 70-point yank. God, man. Them dudes just wreck some folks. Woo, you got to be careful buying them breakouts sometimes, guys, especially into resistance. This is why I've been so kind of anti-long this morning, but I've been like pushing my luck, trying to get up there. Oh, goodness. Holy goodness. It just blew right through it, man. Oh, my goodness. All right, let's see if we can find a elusive trade. We've already taken all of our trades on the Bewley accounts this morning, so let me try a elusive trade this morning. All right. 100 point sweep. That is insane. Oh, goodness. Hey, the OPEC week is not letting us down. all these all this crazy price action this week, man, between OPEC, rollover, FOMC, this thing is just taking it to you. Oh my goodness. Oh man. I don't know. I don't know if I can long this for the third time, man. We done long this thing twice already up into that price action. We're getting our 10 points. We just got to start taking profit up to the around the 40s. Do we get through this time? I've been telling myself to wait till we print above the freaking 60s before. I usually don't take the trades more than 3 times in a row, Carlos. Usually 2 times is my max. So I'm just going to wait and see if we can print above the 60s. I feel like that's the safest play, is to have a nice 5-minute candle push up there above the 60s and kind of print. Oh, goodness. Whew. So we're going to be filling in for Methodical Demand today on My Funded Futures for anybody that wants to join us over there today. So hopefully that goes all well today. I'm hoping that we get some nice movement during lunchtime today. Yesterday's price action was super, super tough during the lunch hour. So hopefully today get a little bit of movement since we've had quite a bit of consolidations. Let's see. Dun, 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 dun. So this is kind of what we've been taking some of our trades on. So a lot of times whenever I'm grabbing these longs on these candles, one of my favorite setups is whenever you get this one candle bar in a big wick, where you're almost guaranteed 10 to 20 points. So we actually took this short. That was that one short that we took a while ago before it reversed. So we actually took quite a few of these. For anybody that's just curious, what I'm trading off to the side here sometimes. What I'm doing is just waiting for everything to kind of get in order. You want to see your 9, your 21, and 50 all in same kind of sync with also your 21 cloud. So, if it's red, I only look for shorts. If it's green, I only look for longs. And I'm just looking for pullbacks into the 21 EMA and looking for shorts. So that's how we usually trade off our Rico candles. Yep, the reversal wicks. Yeah, we've been trading funded accounts all morning, guys. We have switched over to our elusive eval. I lost my elusive funded 2 Mondays ago, and I think I picked up another eval a couple days later, and that's kind of. No, it's not gambling. It's just a repeat. It's just repeat scalping. I mean, I guess if you've never done it, I guess it could be called gambling, but it has a pretty high win. I hardly ever take losses on it. It's just scalping. You're looking for the M's and W's. Yeah, a lot of people don't trade those. I like to do it when it's super choppy. It allows me to kind of uh, not really focus so much on all the wicks and stuff that are going on with inside the 5-minute candles. It allows me to see the price action a little cleaner. I guess it'd be no difference than someone trading trend on pullbacks. Yeah, it kind of does away with all the noise, Carlos. I figure everybody just trades their own way, man. No one has to, you know, kind of do your own thing. I usually only take most of the Rico candles on. Well, I did take it on a funded account a while ago, but most of mine are Rico. Are eval trades on my Rico candles. So we're still just kind of chopping back into that 15-minute range that we usually like to take our trades around. The gold box you look to the left, that's your 15-minute candle. That's the one we kind of keep trading back into. The big square that you see here, that is your hourly candle. And this would be your 4-hour low on that candle. So this would be your previous 4-hour low candle, not actual move, but candle. Right now, let's see. I'm not really sure why it didn't work. Maybe it had a time limit on it or something. I'm not sure, Smoker. You can try that one to see. Like I said, I'm not sure why it wouldn't work. I mean, I just copied it off the invite the the server, so I'm not positive. All TP hits now. What? So, guys, we're going to stay away from the longs unless we get back above those 560s. For shorts, I would need to get back below that 15-minute range at the what? Basically below the 400s on the bottom side. Is there anybody right now that's holding a trade? Is anybody holding a long or short? Or is anybody looking for a certain take profit area? Or is everybody just kind of sitting on the sidelines? Were most of you guys able to find at least a nice 10-point trade this morning, 20-point trade? We had multiple longs where we're up 40 points, but we were looking for that certain target up there at the 50, 55s and didn't get it. So, unfortunately, we kind of did away with not hitting our 30-point take profit, especially on our fundeds. That's what hurts the most because those were funded accounts that we were in a while ago. All right, here comes the what? Third, fourth push back up into those 500s again. Does the market, does the bulls finally have it to get through the previous day low? That is the safer play is to have a print above this pivot here where you just see your 5-minute candle just barely push above it, then have a wick that kind of wicks back into this level, then go. Then I feel like the next place up is going to be the previous day close, which is sitting at 606. And maybe we can run that previous 4-hour high candle up there at 640s. If I was looking for a play to the upside after breaking above the previous day low. But this candle did not break this candle, so this is almost similar to just a pullback. And so I don't know if this is just kind of like another tight wedge that we're in. For anybody that likes to draw trend lines, so basically this would be kind of like a wedge. So, what's up, Logan? Pretty good today. Besides that first trade this morning, everything else has been a winner. We've probably taken at least 5 trades, so we were like kind of 4 for 1. I didn't take profit when being up 30, 40 points, so that one kind of hurt because I was long off 91 while ago in this trade here, and we pushed up to about the 40, 45, and I was looking for the 50. I thought we would get the push up to the pivot up here, but we're pretty much rejecting about the same area as this one. So unfortunately, our runner ended up being a break-even trade instead of getting the full 30 points on that trade or 40 points on that trade. That's because I was looking for the 50 points. So we had multiple 30 and 40, 50 point trades that kind of fell on our runners. We didn't get all the profit that we would have liked to got. But that's the downfall of having runners sometimes, especially whenever the market doesn't have the follow through. And we're pretty much just, it's almost like one of those days you just need to take your profit and not even really think about the runners and just take your either 10, 20 points and just look for your next entry. Because since we're just kind of just waving back and forth, we're just kind of chopping in a zone. We've yet to break. We have pretty much been a magnet back to that original 15 minutes from 9 to 9:15. And so that 9 o'clock 15 candle is what I like to take my entries out of most days, even though it was a fail this morning because I tried to do it on that second pushback down, but it held. No, I don't ever do the London session because that's like 2 or 3 o'clock my time zone in the morning, Logan. So most of the time we just do the New York session, and we also usually trade the Asia market. So, and Asia market's hit and miss. We don't trade fundeds during the Asia market. Asia market's just strictly, we just do the evals in the Asia market. Thanks for the follow, Chris. Carlos, did you find any trades this morning, or you been just kind of sitting on the sidelines? So that pretty much failed again to make a new high. So the last 3 pushes, we've just been making just higher lows. So the first time we pushed up, we hit about the 45. This next time was about the 42, 40 area. Then this time we pretty much got stuck at the 25. Oh, you found all yours last night? Yeah, we caught that really good long last night to the top side. We did have to sit through a little drawdown, but most all my levels held. So last night, my 2 levels to the downside that we were holding, trying to fight off, was the 86 last night and the 60. So that would be right above that previous day low from last night. So those were kind of like my bull bear lines last night because we were in the long when we got that push up to the 600s. Yeah, it would have been during the Asia session. We trade Asia pretty consistent, probably since November of this past Thanksgiving. We've been trading Asia market. Yeah, we're turning to Chop Fest. I'm hoping during lunch, man, we get a breakout today. I just don't want to sit through another choppy lunchtime today. It was like this yesterday where we just stayed literally in an idiot box where you probably could have just traded both sides of the box if you're good at range trading. If range trading is your thing. So, oh goodness. We're probably only going to be on here for another 5 or 10 minutes. This way I can get all my stuff set up. I have to kind of get prepared a little bit and go grab something to drink. I'm hoping once the 11:30 hour gets here, we can kind of have a little breakout session. This way we can look for a nicer move in a little bit. We will be filling in for Methodical Man today on My Funded Future since Methodical Man decided to go to Vegas for the weekend. So maybe if you're in Vegas, you see him around town. Don't know if anybody's from Vegas. I think he's even coming down to your part of the world down there, Fish Lips. I think he said he was coming to the Grand Canyon. I'm not sure how far you live from the Grand Canyon. I mean, I know the Grand Canyon's pretty massively. I know it probably runs through multiple states. But I'm not sure what part everybody visits. You've never been to Vegas, man. I'd figure like most people who lived out west would probably at least go visit once, just to say, okay, yep, I saw it. That's kind of how I want to be. The next, that's one trip that me and my wife want to make is out west to like Vegas, the Grand Canyon. Maybe go to the California coast just to see the ocean on that side of the states. I've never been that far out west either. So most beaches that I've ever gone to is like on the South Carolina side or the Florida / like Alabama side or the Gulf. We pretty much just go to the Gulf every year. Oh, you call it a nice gold trade? Nice. Yeah, Vegas is a long ways for me to Logan. I live in the middle of the United. Well, I don't say the middle, but we're pretty much in Central Time Zone, so it's quite a few hours away. I think if you fly, it's like 3 hours away, 2.5, 3 hours. So not really anything to do here, guys, but just kind of just sit here and watch us chop back and forth. Like I said, this is why I was trying so hard to really not take those longs. We did try the longs. I feel like we did at least get our 10 points. So that's why we moved it down to 10 points instead of looking for the 15. So anytime that we're kind of going into resistance, you'll see me switch my take profit over to the 10 points and look for runners. Woo. Come on. So my bull bear lines for longs and shorts is I would like to see us above the previous day low, which is the 60s. You almost need to print up there. And for shorts, I'd like to see us back below the 400s where we're printing on the other side of that 15-minute candle from 9 to 15. A lot of dolphins. Nice. Yeah, I would have to only see dolphins from the coast, man. The last time I went on like a little dolphin skirt, like a little boat ride, like where they do those little dolphin boat rides, man, I got so freaking seasick from well, I guess we were in choppy waters, man. The boat was just rocking back and forth so hard, man. It made me It was the most horrible experience ever. I get so motion sickness so easy. It was like the longest hour of my life. It felt like I was just like, God, is this thing over with yet? It was so horrible. Another thing that I like to do is when we go like to the ocean somewhere is go out to one of those big piers where you can see like all the sea turtles and seagulls and people fishing off the piers. They have some nice piers in the Gulf. So, excuse me. Uh, let's see what time it is here. 10 o'clock. All right. So right now, all of our EMAs are just smacked on top of each other. So right now, if I'm looking at like I said, I do like watching Rico candles. So right now, EMAs are at 98, 95, and 90. So anytime that you see your moving averages stacked that close, you can anticipate some very, very choppy price action. I'm going to stay away from this until we get some kind of separation because you almost need like a 20, 30 point move to the downside with like a little retest. Thank you, Carlos. We'll be over there for Methodical Man starting at 10:30 or 11:30 today. They also do a lot of giveaways during their segment. I think they give away 4 free accounts every day and 1 free account on their, what do you want to call it, their X. Sounds good, Carlos. Have a good morning. We're about done ourselves. We're going to take a quick break. And I have to get my computer ready because I have to get my screens ready because I have to shut out all these other charts. Because whenever I'm multi-streaming, I have to use NVIDIA Broadcast, and I use all these, like Streamlabs, OBS, it all shares that one camera. But whenever I do it the other way, I have to have all that closed out because you can't be sharing cameras. So that's usually what I mean by like I have to get my screens ready. We did have news earlier this morning around the 8:30, 10 o'clock this morning, Justin. This is OPEC week. So tomorrow is OPEC Friday. So it means a lot of options are coming to an end. So I was anticipating a little bit more heavily day to day with tomorrow being choppy. I thought today with all the contracts selling either good or bad, the market would just be zooming, but that's not the case. We're getting big random moves, which are hard to catch. When you got 100.5 minute candles, it's really hard to catch those 5-minute candles like that unless you catch it right at the bottom. Because what happens if you try to jump in at the top of that or right before a new candle prints, you just get wrecked. All right, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Like I said, we will be over there at My Funded Futures from 11:30 to 12:30. We will be filling in for Methodical Man today while he's on his lovely trip to Vegas in the Grand Canyon. So hopefully he put a little stop loss on his gambling money. I know he likes to play the 5-card draw or Texas Hold'em poker. I'm pretty sure he's probably talked about it a few times. Uh-oh. In about 25 minutes at 11:30 today, Nick. How was your trading session today, Nick? We were kind of like 1 for 5. All right, here comes the push here. Man, as soon as we are about to end, it's going to finally get the push up here. Let's see if we can pop the 60s. Maybe this will hold off until the 11:30 hour this way, or 10:30 hour. That way I can catch this move to the upside if we print above this pivot. You almost burnt your favorite account. Nah, come on, that sucks. All right, guys, we will see you in a little bit if you're joining us this morning. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you briefly.